Yeah, I'll hit play. But morning, Don.
That'll be good.
Birds aren't real.
Nice.
And neither is TJ.
There's TJ.
Not for long.
Thank you, Mike. Excellent
Oh,
meme.
shit.
Excellent meme.
I missed
Thank you very, very much. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. We are here once again for the City of Oshuamp. We are NotGreatRPG, and we're here for something.
Yeah.
It's going to be a great time. So we'll go around the table real quick, introduce ourselves, and then... Yep. So always, I'm Don, and tonight I'll be playing Ether Revia, the Grave Domain Cleric.
I'm Zonky Kong, and I play Yalumla.
I'm Paul and I play Felix.
I'm Glenn. I play Vorst.
Chow and play Theriel.
I'm Sarah, and I play Ritora.
And I am Shrogrim. I play Nesdinger.
Shit, he remembered.
Nesdinger, dude.
Shame he's gonna die.
Or be alive?
Yeah, I am John. I am the Dungeon Master for the City of Oshuamp. When last we gathered together, we were exploring in the Undercity. The curious phase spiders that had blinked out of existence in front of us inside of the tunnels outside of the spider den. We interacted with the two sigils that were left, one on wall, one on ceiling. Ether successfully 10-foot pole jerking one off the wall, and then having it rubble all over his face. Still hasn't cleaned himself up. What a dirty, dirty elf.
Shadow Elf.
There you go. This is why. It's only when you're down here, when in Rome.
Exactly.
We had Felix utilize the Deck of Illusions to summon forth an illusory clone of himself that did feign grievous injury to attempt to allure one of the face spiders back. It was successful in doing so after a moment or so had passed. The face spider that descended down tried to consume the illusion. I nat 1, so it stumbled and fell prone as the spider thread broke. Nesgrim and Ritora worked together communally to destroy said thing and crush its abdomen and realized that there was a terrifying, black pudding-like substance that was oozing out of its abdomen and was attempting to attach itself to Nesgrim. Vorst inspected the blood on the wall, which was the same substance. It attached to his finger. Thariel attempted to bed her nail underneath it to separate it from his finger. It attempted to latch onto her as well. She pulled away. Ether grabbed 2 candles and slowly burnt this thing away until Vorst was able to peel it off of the backside of just his finger. And upon throwing it to the ground, it seemingly shattered into a multitude of small glass-like beads. Ritora looked into the alcove that was the spider's den, saw 4 large cocoons attached to a stalagmite on the ground. One of the cocoons was severed open in the center. As she got, a reasonable distance, 30-40 feet away from it, she sensed something attempting to disguise itself and force her forward, seemingly against her will. She successfully resisted this entity. The only thing she saw within the cocoon was a dark, shadowy-like black curtain and then a series of stacked eyes, cascading backwards like they were at different distances. And then, druidcraft, bonfire, burn the spiders, always burn the spiders. Lit the webs on the walls on fire, creeped around, burned the cocoons. After the fire successfully extinguished, after a few moments of burning everything to cinder and ash, we stepped back in briefly to get a good visual as to what had happened. All the cocoons were destroyed, and the comparable black-like pudding that we had seen outside as the form of blood, there was a stain of what looked like soot-laden ash against the clay floor of the cavern, extending out in what looked like a large, spooky hand reaching towards the mouth of the corridor that was its entrance. We decided, no thank you, we're going to go now.
Yep.
We went backwards, warned the individuals of the guild. They formed a different structure to keep the children closer to them. We went left, which would have been originally straight, into a large, almost, Little Dipper-shaped room where it opens downwards into a grand, vast opening. Big cavern, huge ceilings, same walls, same clay. However, inside in the center, there was a large stone wall, about 60 feet in height, 20 feet in width, that looked like it extended downwards in an offshooting L shape, around 120 feet in totality. We looked at this, inspected it, decided this thing is very strange, recognized that the ceiling above had an impression in the ceiling from where it seemingly would have fallen down, or the earth would have naturally filled in against it. The area at the base of the wall itself has small sunken-in spots from where an impact was struck. We decided to explore this cavern. Ritora holding along the southern wall, which, Sarah, I did send you a thing in Discord.
Yes.
Okay, very good. For what you would have seen there. And Nesgrim decided this wall might have a lead of some sort in some way, somehow, magically, and deftly climbed it. You climbed it better than you've climbed anything before in your life, like an eerie creature ascending the wall, using little handholds and footholds, ascended the entire of the 60 feet, and then explored into a ruined tower at the southeastern edge of this wall, throwing a stone inside, attempting to see if anything responded to him. And then some things happened with Nesgrim inside, which the party still does not know. And, well, a moment or so had passed. Vorst was setting up pitons and rope to be able to get up and explore this area. Thariel and Felix, recognizing that we have not heard anything back from our good pal Nesgrim, decided to both utilize their various means of flight, ascend up the 60 feet of the wall, looked at the archway on the upper portion, entered within, the 30 feet down, onto the stone landing below, and for the party, for the two of them, witnessed something in the distance inside of the tunnel, which again, the other members of the party still don't know, so we'll get to that eventually. We'll get to Nesgrim now.
Well done.
I'll do my best.
And for the sake of it, for once again, this episode might get real fucking dark, so if at any point this feels like it has reached a threshold at which it is upsetting or discomforting, please check out the recap afterwards. Do not push yourself to watch something that is part of a very grim and dark campaign. Oh, boy.
Just going to adjust myself
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think that that's definitely the right thing to do.
to a better angle here. There we go.
Yep. Despite the intensity of the scene, I'm actually going to leave it on morning for the playlist.
Jesus.
Not as an insinuation, mostly because like the suspense ones, they can get like kind of hectic and like they break more frequently, it seems like, than the songs in Morning.
Fair enough.
And I don't want to like, in a very tense moment, deter your thinking because of weird noises or anything like that. Simplicity feels better.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, dude, of course. And as I said before, I pray your perseverance and ingenuity leads you home.
Thanks.
So, as you stand here, I had told you before, at the conclusion of your scene, that as you looked over your shoulder, you saw, extending outwards, beyond where the archway that you would have passed through would have been, perpetual gloomy darkness, where it feels very comparable to the scene in which you visited your mother, that extending darkness in which you can see yourself, your skin, and the colorations of your armor, anything on your clothing would appear very dull, grayed out, as though color has been washed away from you. I would tell you that in the area it feels like there is silence. You recognize in where you're standing, it feels like the composition of the scenery around you fades from different gradients of grays to blacks, darker blacks, to the point where it becomes almost like jet black, and it is imperceivable beyond. In the areas in which there are some gray scale around you, it would seem like effectively you're standing in almost comparably like a wasteland, where it would feel like continuous gray, unnatural earth, like as you stand, effectively affixed, but like your feet shuffling ever so slightly, you would feel that the ground here holds many natural grooves and like still though kicks up just the same composition for what you would remember is the clay from whence you were exploring inside of the cavern. So where you stand affixed right now holds some comparable point to where you passed through. However, the archway, the castle wall, those areas are gone. They are not present. I will tell you as you look deep out into the distance beyond the stretches of what would feel like your horizon, you see no sources of light anywhere around you. No moon, no stars. You don't even see the skyline for what would give you the inclination as like if the ground were lighter and the sky would be darker. You wouldn't even see a real horizon point at which that light gray and the dark jet black of the sky would touch. It feels almost like the things around you are in perpetual motion and formation. It smells of brimstone and ash. It smells like old, charred, burnt wood. It is obviously a very alarming place to find yourself in alone. That's the initial description I'm going to give you. I'm going to flip your first timer. Okay? Stand here alone, Nesgrim.
Okay. In my immediate area, I'll say within like my standard field of vision, do I see anything?
In terms of terrain or objects or structures around you, no. Nothing within the initial like 30 to 60 feet for what your dark vision would be more limited in here.
Sure.
The like 30 to 60 feet for what you would be able to like really kind of make out. Doesn't seem like there's any structures whatsoever.
Okay. But like I can see the ground.
Yes, you can see the ground at your feet.
Okay.
It almost would feel genuinely like, not to say it specifically, but like a spotlight is on you. To where you would be able to more definitively see the like 10 to 15 feet of like solid dark vision that you would have right at the area around you. You standing at this epicenter, and around you, at the edge of the circle of your vision for your spotlight, you would see almost like rolling waters. If you've ever seen, like, you take the surface of water and you dip a glass and you get the rippling effect, you would see that rippling ever so slowly outwards from the edge of your circle, deeper into the darkness around you.
Okay. First thing I'll do, I'm gonna cast, I'm gonna use Divine Sense.
Very good. What is the distance for Divine Sense?
60 feet. Yes, 60 feet, not behind total cover.
Okay. I will tell you that as your divine origin permits you this adaptable sense, you recognize the area in which you are, and almost with a sense of certainty you know there will be things here. And there are. Amidst these shadows. Does it give you the exact locations?
Great question. Hang on.
I know, like, detect good and evil.
So,
I know it wouldn't obviously give you, like, names or anything.
You know the location.
Yep.
You know the type, but not its identity.
I will tell you that you sense one thing. One grand, consuming thing that feels like it echoes all around you. Like if you were thinking for detecting outwards like radar, you would effectively hit a rippled like wall that seems like it is about 40 feet at the edge, where it would encroach at like 35, 40, 45, 40, 35, 40, 35. Not as congruous and consistent, but like more diversely sporadic. There would be some stretches of this thing that would feel like it gets as close as 25 feet away from you.
What type?
Undead.
Okay. Okay. God damn it.
I will tell you as you do this. The creature seems almost instinctively aware of what is akin to divination, an effort to sense it outside of just natural perceptive abilities. And I will tell you that as you do this, you hear a voice you have never heard before speak out in a low grumble. You stand at the mouth of madness.
And it's a voice I've never heard before.
Never heard before.
Okay. Where am I? Oh,
Back to me.
who are you?
I am the end.
The end of what?
I'll tell you that as this thing says this, in the way that I have been describing, that it would seem as though there isn't a horizon. It's because it's obscured by the grand, massive features of this thing.
That is on all sides of me.
That is on all sides of you, as though it is, quite literally, sat. You see approximately 55-ish feet in height in an area in which the shadow would have appeared slightly more gray and almost naturally curtained by the dust that is kicked up by your anxious boots. You see a form that looks like it is filled with spikes or horns, but a litany of them, like a grand mountainscape across. It shudders as it stands, and you see this dust almost naturally wash off of it like a gray smoke. I will tell you that Nesgrim has not really truly stood in the presence of a dragon. But the spikes and the grand nature, as it basks for just a second and flares these dark, jet black wings that look as though they stretch into eternity, like they themselves form a curtain around you, enveloping you. Obviously not physically at your space, but in that 30 to 40 feet around you. You would hear the fluid motion and flapping of a tail that crashes through the stone, crumpling rock, echoing out southwest of you, as though this thing lay here, you at its epicenter. It doesn't stand fully tall. It looks only as though it takes its front haunches, and with the great spiny protrusions along the elbow that extend out from the wings, you see this thing, a magnitude that is almost incomprehensible to you, a face in width that looks some 15 to 20 feet, and 15 to 20 feet, 25 feet in height. A grand, terrifying creature of shadow. And it is said, the end of all.
Why am I here?
You, too, are a dragon. To be as one.
You mean my wings?
my wings.
Have you been known by any other name?
Undying.
How do I leave?
Be as a dragon would, and take back home.
Oh!
I will tell you that as it says this, in the midst of the shadow, you can see the extending silver teeth of what would pull backwards from you like a great grin, a mouth that descends in a cacophony of teeth. Some, again, 35 feet in front of you, about 40 feet in height, grinning down at you. The only thing supplying any sensation of light. The mouth of madness. And you have found its home.
John, I know what I have to do, but I don't know if I have the strength to do it.
I pray your perseverance and your ingenuity and your recognition of the campaign will lead you true.
What purpose do you serve?
My own.
Oh, fuck me. Oh no. What do you hope to achieve?
The end.
Of all.
Only the end.
The end of what?
It would almost let out a strange guttural chuckle.
Okay. Okay. How much do you know?
Everything.
What do you seek?
Everything.
What do you know of the fallen king?
Died over and over and over.
As if I...
But undying, are you not?
You make a valid point.
Your gift is my boon.
Surely you gave it to me for a reason?
Of course.
What reason was that?
To find me.
I have found you. Now what?
Be as a dragon.
Killing me here, John.
I know.
Literally.
I know.
would I be in service of you?
No.
What service would I serve? What purpose would I serve for you?
A herald of my voice.
And with that, I'll start to cry.
Okay. Just cry?
Well, like, you activate necrotic shroud. Like, you know, Nesgrim, and I'm out of time. Nesgrim cry.
Okay.
I don't know if that was the right thing to do or the wrong thing to do. I feel like it was the wrong thing.
Gonna ask you to swap, buddy.
Oh! Alright.
Yup.
My palms are sweaty.
I hate to see a player die.
It's fine. We're ready to help.
Just give me a second to get set up here.
Unpack everything.
I don't want to say pressure,
Oh no.
but do your best. And no matter what happens, it is not your fault. Oh, fuck. Yep.
Alright.
Real bad.
Well, it's worse than I thought, because my plan is not as good.
It's fine.
So, I'm assuming when we came down here, it felt like underneath the tree, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Once again, I will offer you the same thing that I offered him, a description of the surroundings. So I had forgotten to include it, but he had tied a rope up at the top of the tower off one of the adjacent stones at the height of the construction. It would be hanging down loosely into the center of this circular room. The room itself is about 30 feet in diameter. You guys would be standing right around the center of it. The archway is roughly 4 to 5 feet in width, only about 7 feet in height. There's the obvious outlying stones that would be the composition of the archway itself. Again, no mortaring. This is just simple stacked stones held up by their own weight. The tunnel for you guys, you would be able to discern with the gifted magical dark vision that it extends beyond what you would know would be the length of the wall's physical shape.
Right.
It would appear as it grows further back, in the same way that I had tried to describe to Sarah, like a slightly moving black curtain, as though there is some sensation at the end of it, for what would be the end of your vision, as though there is a motion to it, like a soft rippling or a wave of a curtain. And I would tell you that it was about 40 feet away that you would have seen this slowly walking into the distance silhouette of Nesgrim that is dull and draining of color, losing his physical definition, becoming more and more a shadow.
And he passed through my...
He passed through your telekinetic barrier, unfazed, as though he is shunted somewhere else. Is there anything else you guys would like to know about the description for where you are before I flip your first timer? And did anybody else out there give an inclination that they were going to try to get here for the second one?
I believe some of them did, yes.
How far away from us did you say he was?
Approximately 40 feet. Although he went 30 feet into the tunnel and you guys would be about 10 feet away from the archway still.
Okay.
Ready when you are.
Let's go.
All right.
Best of luck, friends.
All right, he passes through, so
Yes.
I'll conclude the barrier.
Okay.
And into your mind, I'll say, get the others. Tell them it's like the tree.
Okay.
And don't stand in the archway. And I'll walk over to the archway and cast Anchor.
Okay. Can you read Anchor for me? I'm assuming you're flying back up, out, and over to them.
2-1 burnout.
Okay.
Alright. Anchor is, as an action, you create an invisible, intangible teleportation anchor in a 5-foot cube you can see within 120 feet of you. For the next 8 hours, whenever you use this psionic discipline to teleport, you can instead... Oh, this is an action, I apologize. Not a bonus action. You instead teleport to the anchor even if you can't see it, but must be within the range of the teleportation ability. So when I use a teleportation ability, I would have to be in range of the anchor to use it. So, which I have variable range on them.
Yup. Okay. You're flying back up?
I would fly back up
Yeah.
once I surface, yell out to them because I'm exhausted and probably can't carry them up.
Yep. I mean, again, in the sake of realism, recognizing that you're going to be able to fly very quickly, I'll call them in now. And they will get the majority of the remainder of this timer as well, since this is the first plan. But you successfully anchor. 5-foot point.
Do I feel...
Do you feel an
I just
anchor?
got attacked by my drink, yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good.
Yeah, you feel almost like a heavy, dense, gravitational, surge in the area in which almost like a well.
Do you want everyone or just the people?
Just the people that intend to try to get in here. You're the only one attempting to come in?
Glenn's coming.
Okay. How would you be attempting to get up this 60-foot wall?
Glenn is grappling, hook throwing,
Okay.
so that way we can climb up, because I can't climb up without that.
Yep. Okay. In the meantime, you anchor.
Yep.
Would you wait for the other people to
No.
come back?
I would not. I would put a torch. I guess I'm assuming there's some dirt and pull out
It's
my
a
tinder.
stone floor.
It's a stone floor. Then I'm
Yes.
holding it
Yeah.
and pull out my tinder box. A little bit of extra sulfur.
Okay.
Light it.
Absolutely. Yeah. You light the torch here in this small circular room. Washes over light. You would see that the light cascades the 20 feet of bright, 20 feet of dim into the tunnel.
Start to walk into the tunnel. Assuming I still feel the tether.
You would climb the rope, not have him carry you, correct?
Correct.
Okay. It is 3 athletics checks. I will say the DC is obviously going to be dramatically easier because you're not doing the foothold, handhold that Nesgrim himself was doing solo.
Yep.
But it's 3 athletics checks.
It's athletics, not acrobatics.
It's
'cause
climbing.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Well, that's a natural one on the first one. So
Off to a good start, buddy. Come on.
Just keep going.
It's a 14 on the die plus 7.
Yep. Glenn, you have a success. Keep going. Don, you gotta fail.
I've failed 4 times now. I rolled a 4, a 5, and another natural 1. So I would say that Ether's not making it up.
It is a 9 on my second roll. And a 19 on the die for my third roll.
You gotta give me one more, Glenn.
Got it. 11.
That's above a 10. Chell, you do not look happy.
Just
You're like,
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah.
I don't think you make it.
Yep. Yeah, with that many consecutive fails.
Yeah. I would say Vorst would ascend first because of the recognition of the desperation and dire nature. And you see even Forst stumble briefly for a moment, almost in a sense of panic. And I think that that feels like a justifiable reason for why Aether would be also shaken. As though something really bad is truly happening, and desperate to get there, Aether just fumbles and fumbles, slides off of the rope, falls back down, hurries as quickly as he can another 10 to 15 feet up before again losing his grip. I'm gonna say bye, buddy.
Yep.
Thariel, what would you do after you yell?
Probably dive back down to try and help where I can.
Okay. I would say because it takes the minute or so to light the torch with the tinderbox.
I thought it was an action.
I think it's 1 minute.
Do you want to check?
Yeah. Glenn, do you have one in your inventory?
Tinderbox?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck. Don lied to me.
Okay, nope. Lighting a torch or anything else with abundant exposed fuel takes an action. Anything else is 1 minute.
So I've got a tinderbox and sulfur.
I would say the sulfur would make it. That it would spark and smell fucking terrible, but I would say that absolutely it would be an action.
Oh, it'll burn bright,
I only need to use a little bit of sulfur.
Yup. And I would tell you that as you step into this archway,
Would it feel similar to when we lit it before? Okay.
yup, and you would feel a sudden rush of chilling cold, and creeping darkness would overtake you as the torch itself would be consumed, the flames extinguish, gone from your sight. I would tell you that you would be flying back down as you would see Felix step into this archway, torch in hand, and as he does so, a strange, crawling smoke, almost like it fills out from the small pores in the holes of the stones that comprise the archway, fill in behind him like a door, and the light would dissipate, and then the shadows would disperse, and you wouldn't see Felix there. You would see further in the distance, almost adjacent to Nesgrim, a shadowy, slightly dulled out Felix,
Alright.
walking in the tunnel ahead of you.
So it's Felix and then Nesgrim.
Yep, only about 10 feet separates them. As though Nesgrim is about 50 feet now into the tunnel, and Felix would be about 30. So maybe closer to 20 feet separates them.
I would like to dive in and try and scoop my arm around Felix's.
How long would it take me to get down the stairs from where I was?
With the 4 climbing checks and then running to the height of the thing and then running down.
Is there a rope?
There is a rope. If you want to
Is
like...
the rope actually attached to anything?
The
or
rope
is
is
tied?
attached to a stone at the height of the tower. I would say, because of the singular failure of the check, you would be climbing, finishing getting over the battlements of the wall, right about the time you would hear the whooshing of Thariel flying downwards.
Did I hear what she yelled?
What would you
She
have
said
yelled,
she
Chell?
screamed.
Nesgrim's down here. It feels like under the tree.
That was what Felix told you to yell. That's what you would hear. You would hear the whooshing of wings as Thariel flies downwards.
Yeah.
And then you would hear silence as Thariel also crosses the archway. I will tell you, Thariel, that you step into this tunnel. And you just see the walls of the tunnel around you. Still seemingly in the distance. A shadowy Felix, a shadowy Nesgrim, and you said you would try to run forward to grab at Felix.
Mm-hmm.
I would tell you that as you run further into this tunnel, about the 30 feet to him, you would grab outwards toward his form, and your hands would pass through him like an illusory silhouette. A strange chill, even for you, running through your fingertips, unable to reach him. I would say, Vorst, you would land and you would see Thariel in the tunnel, and you would see two people as shadowy figures in the distance.
In a panic, I would start.
She's on this side of the threshold.
She's into the tunnel.
She's in the
You will
threshold
be
now.
landing in the circular bottom of the tower.
I'll pull my... Fuck. Yeah, I'm gonna summon my Sun Sword.
Okay.
Good.
You open the blade of the Sun Sword, and it's 15 bright, 15 dim.
Yes. And I would take whatever time it takes to make it as bright as
Yep.
possible as I'm
You
moving
draw,
forward
you
slowly.
use the single action to get to 20. You could action surge to get to 25. She is about 30 feet deep into the tunnel. She would not be in the bright light, she would be in the dim.
Yeah, I'll action surge too.
Yep. I will tell you, Thariel, that you feel an intense light from behind you, almost glaring, like headlights, effectively, filling the tunnel space behind you, almost concentrated. You see Thariel, and I will tell you that the shadows almost quiver, like they shake, like ever so slightly vibrating against the dim light of the blade.
Yeah, as I'm moving forward. To me! To me!
I have a rations box. Is it okay to assume that there might be seasoning in the rations box, or probably not?
There would be salt.
Would I know the beneficial uses of salt growing up the way I did?
Yeah. I would tell you that you know it's a purifying agent and that it's often used to ward off evil.
I would quickly reach into my bag, take a couple steps in front of Felix,
Felix.
and try and sprinkle it on the ground in front of him, acting as a wall to try and stop him from moving forward.
Paul, I will tell you.
No. Please, no.
What did I do? Oh no.
I will tell you that as the light is extinguished, I will tell you that you stand in a dark, vacuous space, and I'll describe it the same way I described it to DJ. You have the magical dark vision gifted to you, right? Still? Yep. I will tell you more detail then, because you would have more defined dark vision. It is a place where color itself feels as though it is washed out, even on yourself, on your clothing, on your hands, on your form. It would feel almost like the strongest parts of your dark vision, which are still more limited in here, even though it's magical, as though there is effectively a spotlight for what you're capable of seeing in a circle around you, and you stand effectively at an epicenter. About 15 feet in front of you, you would see Nesgrim standing, almost as though motionless, in a trance, his head tilted upwards, staring as far as you can see at nothing. You hear his voice like a distant echo. Say the words. What is your purpose? You see nothing. You hear nothing but Nesgrim. You see him appear again as a dull, grayed-out figure, standing only 10 to 15 feet ahead of you.
Is he repeating himself?
He would ask another question after a moment of pause. Have you been known by any other name?
I'm gonna walk up to him. He's just looking up.
Yep.
Am I able to physically?
Yes.
When I look into his eyes, what does his eyes look like?
His eyes would be rolled back into his head.
Yeah, I mean, I'll try to speak into his mind. Nesgrim, are you there? Can you hear me?
I will tell you that you establish a telekinetic connection to Nesgrim's mind. Nesgrim can't speak back inside of it, correct?
Right.
I would tell you that you establish a connection. It feels like Nesgrim's there.
Okay. I'll say I'm gonna get you out of here.
He would look almost like he's having effectively a seizure.
A seizure?
Yep.
Okay. I'll try it. So, I walked 15 feet.
Yeah.
From where I entered. Would I feel the anchor or no? I'm assuming because I'm away from it, I don't feel like a tether, right? Okay.
Wouldn't feel a tethering.
Well, okay, well, I'm going to try one of these. I guess I'll try to grab onto him, and I'll have to spend 2 side points, so that's 40 feet. It says, step of a dozen paces. If you haven't moved yet on your turn, you take the bonus action to teleport up to 20 feet per side point spent to an unoccupied space you see, and your speed is reduced to 0 until the end of the turn. I'm focused on pneumatic steps, so I would get 10, but I'm effectively going to instead try to port myself, holding Nesgrim, to the anchor.
In the meantime, what would the two of you be doing? You're sprinkling salt.
Mm-hmm.
I will tell you that the Shadow Felix seems to have halted.
Has Vorst
Still moving forward.
You'd be walking further into the tunnel. I will tell you that the bright light illuminates the two of you, and it will illuminate these shadows. And I will tell you that
Is it casting light onto Felix and Nesgrim?
as it does, as the bright light does, I will tell you that it feels almost like you would be looking at a flat, two-dimensional, like a cardboard cutout, where the light cannot penetrate their shadow. The bright light would disperse around them, and it would look almost as though at the edges of their two-dimensional flat shaping, it would look as though the light almost hits a surface in which you would see a thin, extending, smoke-like silvery barrier that is consistently vibrating like a ripple, and the light would not touch them.
I'm gonna advance as far as I can and ask the Ariel, where is the separation?
How much salt do I have left?
It would only be a couple pinches.
Do you have any salt?
Tons.
Let's go.
Where's the separation?
We'll find it. Let's go. And I just pull him towards.
So,
You would go
offhand.
back into the circular room that is the bottom of the tower, or would you go further into the tunnel?
I would want to stop Nesgrim.
Further into the tunnel towards Nesgrim?
I'm gonna keep moving forward. How close to them would I be at this point? I'm not walking fast.
Yeah, you'd be able to get to
Sword up
either
and
of
lighting.
them.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a handful of salt and throw it out over them to rain down on the two of them. Come back to us.
I will tell you that as you throw salt over the two, as it does, it looks so suddenly strange. The salt contacts their physical form, and for what we know as people in this world, would look almost like a window being retracted into a car door. You would see in the small gaps within the large stone structures, you would see their shadows slowly slip into these things, disappearing from before you.
Like into the cracks of the floor.
Into the cracks of the floor.
I would try and reach into the pouch that Borst has and grab a handful of salt. And then, again, try and run up in front of Nesgrim, who I'm assuming is still walking.
Nesgrim would also be going underneath into the cracks in the floor.
I would just try and make a barrier around him so he doesn't try and move.
Does it seem like the shadows around them as we advance forward are still quivering and holding back? Mm-hmm. Like the light is keeping them at bay?
Yes.
Yeah, when she goes to reach for salt, she would throw it, and I would assume that you're going to reach back more to keep just frantically throwing salt at them.
No, I'm not throwing it at them. I'm making them a ring.
Okay.
I'm keeping them contained.
I'm going to pull out my Moon Touch with my offhand and put it in Theriel's hand closest to me.
Okay.
Is that the one that's currently shining?
Different one.
Both of them shine.
Yep. One of them shines with moonlight, one of them shines with sunlight.
Yeah, I guess I take it.
I will tell you that you step 40 feet backwards in this vacuous space. Because it's based on distance. The way that planar crossings would be. You would step backwards here, not here.
So I would be 40 feet away from Nesgrim?
Yep.
Okay. Well, it burned out also.
Okay.
Could be
Now you're bald.
Your hair fell out.
No eyebrows.
58. Whose side point cost plus 1 hit points. Nobody makes me bleed my own blood, man. I only hurt myself.
I know.
So wait, it's minus 3 health. Owie.
You would hear Nesgrim say, "Whom would I serve? What service of yours would I have?"
Yeah, I'm gonna, I guess, dash over to him, fly over to him, dash, and hearing that, I'm gonna grab his temples and try to show him a memory of all of us in happy tent, getting high. With Melithel trying to grab my legs. From my perspective, so he sees himself as well. Mm-hmm. Probably started to pass out.
Be careful of the blue bag.
Said I wasn't counting on it.
I will tell you that you know that you connect inside of his mind. You begin to display this sweet, serene, comfortable moment of you all laying inside of the tent. I will tell you that you hear Nesgrim say, "What do you know? What have you seen? What do you want?" I will tell you that you spend a few seconds showing him Melithel and Melicy and everyone else inside of the cabin. I will tell you that he convulses and starts to foam at the mouth, and that around the ridges of his eyes that are rolled back into his head still, you see almost in the wrinkles of the elderly man, in the same way you saw. You were one of the ones on the elevator when you guys saw Kane when you were escaping.
Oh yeah, I hit Kane.
You would see the same pulsing of veins with a black blood inside of the vessels extending out from his eyes as he foams the mouth ever so slightly. I will tell you that you make a salt barrier around the ground. The shadows you can see like thin lines in the crack of the stone, as though there is just darkness there.
You said that when she went to go grab Felix, her hand passed through.
Correct.
Now that Nesgrim is in the circle, if I
Mm-hmm.
try and touch him, same deal.
Still pass through.
When he pulled the sword, you said that the shadows, like, retracted from it.
Yes.
Forgive me, I stab Nesgrim in the shoulder with this moonblade. I don't want it to be a mortal.
Yeah. It's the one that I gave you for Rirda, right?
Moonclaw.
Yep. I will tell you that as you, not really proficient with this weapon, take a brief step back and thrust it through the upper portion of this shadow. This, well, having described it as sinking currently, I'll say that because of the magical salt, bound it halfway sunk. So it would appear like a short Nesgrim in front of you, where you would only be seeing the upper half of his body. You thrust downward through this thing, and I will tell you that as you do so, you feel the sword connect with something, like a physical form, and it plunges and sinks in a way that you would know would feel genuinely like you stabbed something. Felix, here, I'll tell you that you see, suddenly, an eruption of blood out from the shoulder of Nesgrim as he stands in front of you, spraying upwards as though he has been suddenly stabbed. And I will tell you that in the area for where the blood spreads out, you would see, for a brief instant, an illumination of silver light, like a lightsaber effectively,
Right.
filling a thin space, almost like the blood is twisted around it like a tornado, and it is the eye of the storm.
So seeing that, do I see the blade?
You would see silvery light and what would look like a blade shaping.
Can
you
I see
wouldn't
a
see an actual
reflection?
blade. I would say that you would see inside of the silvery light, yes, what would look like a steely surface and a reflection of the face of Thariel.
Can I see past her?
I would say no.
Fuck.
What does Nesgrim's shape look like? I know you said it felt more corporeal. Do the
It would
shadows-
look almost like if you were cutting through paper and you were to split down it, because he is two-dimensional.
I keep the sword just impaled, I don't take it out, and I try and reach for him again.
Your hand once again goes through him.
Fuck, that didn't work.
Can
you
I
see the light still there.
can I try and change my angle like the other side?
Yeah. You give yourself a reasonable, swift angle. You would see the tunnel, what would look like stone structures behind
lit
her
up.
head ever so slightly.
It's lit up now,
I'm
too.
gonna grab him, and I can see it, so I'm gonna try and port us to it.
Yo.
I'm assuming it's not far away, so I would only need to use a psi point, so 20 feet. So 20 feet back in that space. I'll roll burnout again. Rolling hot!
You got it.
Where's the barrel? Where's the barrels?
2!
Very good.
That's high, right? On a D6?
It's high enough. Not a 1!
I will tell you that as you grab onto Nesgrim, you feel him shake. And as you, out of the peripheral of your vision, see him as you look through the reflection of the blade to look further back to find the area at which you bound, I will tell you that you would see Nesgrim's eyes ever so swiftly roll back into the center of his face. Darkened, what would look hollow, like there is no iris any longer.
Oh no!
And I will tell you, streaming down the lower lids and over his cheeks are tears stained black.
Ugh.
And you step And I will tell you, the two of you, suddenly feel, for you, the weight of the blade go through this shadow as it disperses. You two would land on the ground where you bound yourself.
Wait, what do you mean where I bound myself?
Where you had the...
We had the anchor.
where
I
you
wasn't
had
targeting the anchor. I was targeting where I could see through the reflection. Because you said the anchor
Yes.
last time. So I wasn't trying to anchor, but you're saying I'm going to the anchor either
Yes.
way.
I'm saying that, like, effectively, because of the temporal space difference, I actually only want DJ back. Sorry. Bye, done.
Oh,
Get out.
No. That's not good. Have fun. Sorry, I can't climb.
Yes, it is.
Fuck. Either I got out or y'all
You
came in.
owe me so much, you little
did it.
fuck. I want a full course dinner. Blaming you.
I will tell
Same.
you, as you feel yourself start to cry, you feel a strange hand on your shoulder and a sudden sensation like falling a great distance. And you feel this presence that was almost looming over your face, like genuinely if you were to put a sheet or a bag over your face, where it would have felt when you were taking those deep heaving breaths as you started to sob.
Yeah.
You feel that fall from your mouth, and you land at the bottom of the turret in the arms of your wonderful friend Felix.
Hey, baby. So,
Little Bess is just not.
What do you actually say?
Hey, baby.
I was hoping you would do
how are
it.
his eyes?
His eyes would look back to normal.
Okay, good.
However,
Right.
his face would have almost looks like mascara ran.
Oh.
He would have deep black streaks over his cheeks where the tears would have effectively dried.
Go
But again,
upstairs.
it would look like mascara.
I would just say, go upstairs. Literally, I would just gesture.
I'll put my
Walk
arm
up the
around
steps.
Theriel and turn her.
What? So I was there holding him. Is he no longer there now?
Yeah.
The shadow dissipates.
He said, like,
That's why the weight of
the
the sword
pressure
goes
is
through.
What the fuck happened?
Okay.
I turn Theriel.
Say what the
grab
fuck
my-
happened. Into your mind, I scream, "Go upstairs now!"
Yeah.
Grounded.
And I physically start to turn you around, and I push you towards the stairs.
What stairs?
The one
I would grab him by the scruff and drag him.
I didn't know where I
gonna
was.
grab my sword back.
You're
from
back.
Theriel.
on the floor
Okay.
at the bottom of the tower.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab my sword back from Theriel and sheathe that and hold the sword up and push her in front of me to walk out holding the sword behind me to keep the light back.
I'll start. What happened?
Go upstairs.
I start walking upstairs.
I just turn around and I see you two have walked
Yep,
out.
walking
All
out
right,
of the tunnel.
great. I'm just gonna fly up,
Yep.
watching him.
Yep.
I'll help Theriel get up the stairs with my weapon.
Yeah, she's still exhausted.
Yeah,
to
my
be fair.
hands are just tucked in like a little babushka. Just
Come on, Mom.
What?
I'm so tired.
get too old for this shit.
JFK was the president when I was a girl.
Okay, my mom.
Okay.
You got shot. I
He got
didn't do
shot.
it.
Wasn't me.
JFK's here. It's cool.
And we brought the cannon.
What happened? I was surrounded by. Why am
You
I?
guys just barely got him. I was going slower on this because it's 3 people and you guys are trying to do 2 separate locations.
Right.
He's trying to.
Ooh.
But
got
like, just barely, because his thing happened as the resolution of
Oh,
this second
fuck.
flip happened.
Yeah.
And you guys had roughly 60 seconds left.
What?
Yeah, I'll tell you that you guys walk back out of the tower along the heights of the rampart. You guys, I'm assuming for the other 3 of you, genuinely around 2 minutes would have passed. So like, no,
Yeah.
To be fair, you would after that 2 minutes start hearing Felix yelling, "Go upstairs now!"
We heard that.
The first time.
The
Second time, it's just him.
Yell.
So, yeah.
Did we have any sense of concern? Like, there's.
I mean,
Not that much time has passed.
Yeah.
yeah, genuinely, like 2 minutes passed. Like he went up, they flew up. You didn't really hear anything.
The initial concern of like sound of something falling and then no noise.
You would have heard like a muffled scream from Theriel.
Yeah,
like, you
I
wouldn't have
flew
really-
out and was like, Nesgrim is down here. It feels like under the tree, and I go back down.
Yep.
Oh, so concerned.
Yeah, so I mean,
A lot
you'd
of
be
concern.
far enough away for where you're kind of walking. You'd hear it echoing. Like you fail the climb.
Yeah.
I mean, Yalomlo's kind of just like, I don't think we should all go up there.
Yeah.
This feels terrible.
When
There's children.
At the point when she yelled that, Vorst was already up there, or was this prior to
That's
that?
prior. That's why
okay.
like Vorst would have been doing the
I
climb.
would have been
Again,
sure.
part of playing in for why
Got
like
it.
you would have been like, oh my god,
Yeah.
oh fall, oh my
Yeah.
god, oh my god, fall, oh my god, oh my god,
Yeah.
fall. Like,
So Ether is still shaking.
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
Of, like, I can't climb a fucking rope.
yep, I suck. Don't dump strength.
Of, like,
Don't dump strength
hope-
unless you know you can.
Of like, I hope he's okay.
Yep.
Of I cannot get up there.
You guys would climb out of the spooky tower and walk back on the battlements, and I assume would look back down over the rest of your friends.
I'm gonna sheathe the sunblade and walk up to Nesgrim.
What
I'm
happened?
gonna punch you in the chest. And then I'm gonna hug you.
What happened?
You ever scare me like that again?
Can someone tell
You
what?
weren't here. Oh, you were gone. You were here, but not here.
I fly off the parapet.
Yep,
Just go
yep.
take a moment to get myself fucking
You two
together.
back down to the ground.
I'm
land
still
amidst
holding
Yalom.
Oh no, I'm staying up there. There's no way. He's out of my
I
sight.
punch him in the chest, I give him a hug, don't ever do this to me again, and then I'm still holding him by the shoulders. You weren't here.
What happened? But what happened?
I think you got pulled somewhere.
I was surrounded by dark. What happened on your end?
Is everything all right?
Can we see
Fuck
this?
off!
I would say you'd be
I'm
able
yelling
to
at
see, like, over the heights of the battlements if you stood like 15 feet back from
good
the
at
wall to be
talking,
able to
too.
give yourself. You'd be able to see Thariel flying down
Ew.
exhausted and clearly like
Yeah.
probably
Old man.
frazzled.
Yeah, that's why
you're
I-
covered in a veil. Nobody ever sees you. It's fine.
Yeah.
You're just flying around.
Yep.
Having a good time. Having a good time.
That's so funny.
Yeah, I mean, you'd be able to
Batman.
see like Vorst and Nesgrim and Felix standing up there, Vorst hands on Nesgrim's shoulders. Absolutely.
You appeared to not be here. Your physical form was changed.
I'm gonna swipe my hand across his cheek and show him the black.
Yeah, you would see as Felix pulls back his hand, streaked along what would look again like mascara running, like you cried inky black
I have
tears.
memory of what happened.
Yeah,
Right. Okay.
absolutely.
That's good.
Yeah, that's a.
I'm not there. I can't see.
What? How?
It's everything okay.
How did you get me out?
I'm gonna pat the hilt of my moon touch sword.
I was able to see to the other side
We
and got us out.
We pierced the veil.
Get out! Get out! I take it back. I want to stab him.
Let's get down there and I'll tell you what I saw.
I'm gonna.
Do you say that just as sinister as you just said that now?
I'm just
Yes.
gonna gesture towards the rope and
Are
I'm
you
gonna pull out
grinning
my
right
notebook.
now?
Yes.
I will headbutt you.
I'm gonna pull out my notebook and write a title on the top of the page: Planeswalking 101.
Kick this
Also,
girl off the wall.
Chell, what's your strength modifier?
My strength mon?
Yeah, the number.
I don't like this.
Yeah, you're okay.
-1.
-1. DJ, you take 5 damage. For what? You got stabbed stabbed to save your life.
How? When did I get stabbed?
Exactly. You're welcome.
All right, so I take 5 damage.
Yeah, you take 5. What would be piercing damage? But yeah, no. You also feel like a terrible, terrible pain in your right shoulder.
Oh, he's not bleeding on.
You would see now, like standing, especially for you, having put your hands on him, he'd be like bleeding. Not anything crazy. It would still be like regular red human blood.
That's good.
Yeah, human blood.
Was it
You all
never?
have human blood,
Did
right?
it deal a damage that I would assume, having fought Nesgrim before, did it deal a damage that I would feel is normal?
Yeah. Yeah.
Good. Not extra.
Was my blood ever anything other than human?
Celestial.
Celestial.
Let me find out.
Lick the wound.
I would say you guys would climb down over the course of a moment or so, or fly down if you have it at your availability. Ritori, you would walk back over from your nice leisurely stroll.
I would have also.
I know it's not also leisurely, but like
I would have
I gotta
also
give
collected
it-
the rope at the top of the wall
Yep.
as well
Sure.
as our rope that we used
Yeah.
to get up.
I'll just say I like flew down the side of the wall and I'm just laid against it. Just
What happened?
What happened?
Well,
She yelled that it was like under the tree.
What?
sort of.
As a point of order, I would ask each of them in their heads what the password was.
Yeah.
Oh, snow.
What's the password?
Damn it!
We lost force.
Rain. Wait.
I would just stare at you with my book in my hand.
I'll ask you again.
Cursed dildo. Got it.
Attention, so they can
I'll kill you in your sleep if you don't give me the password, Felix.
Blow.
Alright.
I'm writing and I just continue eye contact as I slowly fly down with my wings.
I don't know what's out here. And neither do you. You should want to give me the password.
You see that I'm angry. You see that I'm very angry.
I didn't see you for 2 minutes. What's the password?
So,
I already told him.
No, you tell me.
Fuck.
as for what happened, so I climbed the wall.
Yes,
I
we saw
walked,
that.
I walked across the pathway, you know.
Yes.
I got to the staircase, tossed a rock down it. Nothing made any noise, so I figured it was safe.
The rock did not make sound when it
Well,
hit
it
the
did,
floor.
but there was no like or anything similar.
That would typically be a sign of maybe don't go down the
Why
hall.
did you save him? We were so close. Will you see?
And then nothing made a sound aside from the rock. So
Yes.
then I rolled a rock down the stair in the other order. I rolled a rock down the staircase to make sure there was one, and then rolled or threw a rock down to make sure there was nothing waiting for me at the bottom.
Yes.
And then I got to the bottom of a staircase, and there was a long pathway in front of me.
And then you came back up the staircase?
No, I walked into the pathway.
In the middle of him saying this, I say into your mind, greed is good.
And I thought to myself, gee, I wonder what's down there. So
Famous last words.
Greed,
I believe that, yes.
So I walked underneath an archway, and then suddenly I was
Okay.
surrounded by darkness.
And then you turned around and came back.
Nope.
No.
Couldn't.
So naturally, I sent out my feelers to see what was around me.
I'm sorry, what?
You have
Sent out my
feelers?
feelers.
Like a centipede?
I tried
Felix
to
hates those.
pick up on the essence of the beings around me.
Yes, your holy senses. You've
Correct.
done this before.
For a second when you did this, I thought, his wings aren't out.
You can smell things like that?
So I felt that I was surrounded by undead.
And then you turned around, right?
Nope.
Still wrong.
Sensing a trend.
And then I panicked and I
Yes.
And you turned around?
nope.
Still no.
I'm just looking at Retort now. I'm just gonna keep shaking my head no. And into your mind for any future questions.
And then,
This all seems very normal.
yep, it seems normal. And then a being with a voice that I'd never heard contacted me.
Okay.
And DJ can't remember exactly what it said.
That's good.
Who's DJ?
God, what did it say again?
What was the first thing it said? I remember the
He's not
gist.
gonna tell you.
Understandable. It
Really not.
it
I love the telephone
introduced
game.
itself. I asked if it had been known by any other names.
Okay.
It said the Undying.
Great.
I wouldn't have a word for what I saw, would I?
Would I be able to fill in the gaps? I didn't write it down. You had a timer.
But I that was my issue as well, as I didn't.
Yeah,
write
no,
any of
it's
this.
okay. I would tell you that it effectively said, "Welcome to the mouth of madness."
That's right. Welcome to the Mouth of Madness.
Okay, I didn't hear that.
Yep. Nope.
I would clarify that. Yeah.
That part's bad.
It said, "Welcome to the Mouth of Madness." So naturally, I said, "Where am I?"
Sounds like you're at the mouth of madness.
At the ski resort.
And it told me again where I was. I asked what it wanted, and it said the end. And I said, the end of what? And it said everything.
Okay.
I asked if it had been known by any other name, and it told me the Undying. And then I asked, how do I leave?
Legit. He looked at me and went, "How do I leave?"
I'd like to go home now.
That's fair. That's a fair question.
Nesgrim 1000% would have been like, how do I
Can I
leave?
go now?
That's cool. You have directions back to my friends.
He 100% would have been like, how do I go?
Okay.
So I said, how do I leave?
Uh-huh.
And it said, be as a dragon is.
Because you are
I am
Okay.
a
dragon.
dragon.
So you did not do that then.
See, here's
Now that's exactly what I did.
Here's the thing.
It said you were a dragon?
Correct.
Open your fucking
Well, with
mouth.
the
I pointed out my wings, and I said,
Open
like,
your
my
mouth.
wings. And it said, no, my wings. And then I asked what it serves, and it said something to the effect of my interests.
that makes
I gave
sense.
him.
Its own interests, I
Show,
assume, not yours.
show me your
Yes.
teeth.
Say, ah.
normal Nesgrim teeth. No changes.
And then I said,
Cracked, chipped.
well, what am I?
Measures. Wrong
Why
size.
am I
Out
here?
points.
Mm-hmm.
And
And
then
it said,
uh,
to find your way home to me.
that's it. And then I said, well, what purpose do I serve? Or something to that effect.
Okay.
And it said you were to be a harbinger of
My voice.
my voice.
You were the mouthpiece. Dear God.
Like you're doing right now.
It's gonna get worse.
I don't
You should stop, Nesgrim. You should-
Mr. DM!
Mouth of madness,
Mr. DM!
motherfucker! You!
Uh-huh.
Look, all right.
I'm not
It's
done.
the telephone game.
Do you just want to wait until I'm done?
What'd you say? You said my. Can you say it again?
Harbinger?
Do you want to be the harbinger of my voice?
Go on.
Harbinger.
Harbinger.
And then I
You
said,
should stop repeating what it said. You can tell us the other things,
Fair.
but please.
I said,
we can write it down.
How much do you know? No. And it said everything.
I just said, please do not.
It's
repeat.
one word, Ether.
One word is a lot.
And then he said this weird thing that I didn't understand. It
He
was,
said,
You must not read from the book!
And then I traced some symbols on the ceiling.
Okay.
No, and then I said, what do you seek? And it replied the same.
Okay. Yes.
The
that is
end.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, the end.
Or it said everything, right?
Yes.
I said, what do you seek? And it said everything.
Okay.
And then I asked, what do you know of the fallen king? Because I sensed that it had some information I seek.
Yes.
And it said he died over and over and over and over. And I went, like me. And
It said, yes, undying. Your gift is my boon.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I started to cry.
Started to cry.
Okay. And then how did
And then I woke up in Felix's arms.
Felix? What did you do?
I just wink at Ether. In my mind, I'm gonna scream, "Voice! Voice! Voice!" I'm just gonna keep like yelling in my mind like a maniac.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, you would eventually hear like a faint, distant whisper from,
Cool. Where's it coming from? I'm gonna like fucking Where are you?
It drops on you from the
I
ceiling.
mean, you
Give
would
me that
definitely
soul,
hear your mother say, "That's terrible. I've never heard or seen anything so horrifying." Thanks for the affirmation, Mom.
Just say back. If I could, how do I? I'll just say shrug, and I'll shrug. And I'll be like, "That's what you called this, because you're not her."
I know. I mean,
You guys see me shrugging at myself.
did you not see what stood before him?
Oh.
No, I didn't. Right?
I know you didn't.
No. Okay.
This thing did.
Good.
Yeah.
Can it show me?
DJ forgot to mention
Okay. Show me then.
Yeah.
Wait, you tapped his mind too, didn't you?
You
Your
would,
memory?
you would be telling the party, as you would quite literally see, effectively, a recreation of this thing. So I'll do it for you, because it's easier this way.
Thank you.
The reason why he was surrounded by undead is because it was one enormous thing that effectively was sat around him, its tail comprising a circle at which he was the epicenter. This thing was a gargantuan creature that he effectively pieced together was an enormous, shadowy dragon. It had enormous horns, a smile of deep silver teeth that went back beyond the stretches of what he could really see. And yes, as you see this, it's like, oh dear God.
How far did it see? Did it see all of it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yup, you would see, like, effectively, I described to him at one point, it partially stood, and at partial standing, it was like 40 feet in height.
Okay.
Like, just pushing itself ever so slightly up
like,
with,
ooh.
its
Like
front
leaning.
leggies.
Yeah, doing
like
a Reuben.
leaning. Yeah, doing a Reuben.
40
And, like,
feet from them.
yeah.
Oh, God.
Yep.
Hello?
I
Which is
will
why
also
I
tell
didn't
you
run.
one of the things that you didn't say is when you asked where am I, it said like effectively my domain.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, so I mean you would see that it stretches almost like a mountainscape against the dark black, where it would be darker. So it would look like a jet silhouette against a slightly lighter dark background for what would be the skyline in the distance.
Yes.
It
The
would
skyline,
look
yes.
like, yep.
Okay.
It would look
Oh,
like
God, he's in
spiky
Pittsburgh.
protrusions, and it would have looked like it was encircling around him. There was a point at which the tail would have flapped, and you would have seen a massive, like, 35-foot long tail that had wrapped around him.
What did I see? What did it see it do to him? Because you described a feeling that he felt, right? So, was there anything that was happening?
Oh, yes. I'll tell you that you would have seen this thing as it smiled when he was convulsing in front of you.
Right.
You would have seen this thing almost looming, again, over him, like 40 feet in height, breathing shadow onto him. So, like, this thing would have seen a jet-like smoke coming out of the mouth of this enormous dragon, covering his face, entering into the pores of his eyes, the openings of his ears, his nose, his mouth.
Would I ever call that?
No.
Great.
You didn't see that. You were having a seizure.
Yes, I would relate as he's describing it. I would then relate that how
Yes.
I perceived it
Yep.
and
And
add
how-
anything
Yep.
that he didn't see.
What did you do?
Well,
What?
I cried because I could see no other way out. It was
You-
that or death.
You did what the large evil dragon told you to do, exactly?
It was that or death.
I would have chosen death.
I had faith in my friends.
Felix did save you.
I made a plan.
You could have stalled.
I did my best.
Okay.
I was out of my element. I
respect that.
I gathered as much information as I could, which admittedly is not much. I, in retrospect, should have asked it different questions, but
that is okay.
I go.
I think you asked it nice questions.
I
think those were important questions you asked. Don't sell yourself short.
important to me, but
I think important nonetheless.
well,
It sounds like you did as much as you could. The important thing is that you are safe. Please try not to wander places that I cannot get to your body, because I am your friend. I do not wish for your soul to be trapped in the proverbial cold, where even I cannot get you, where light does not reach.
to that end, I would recommend no one go in there.
Would
that's a
it
great
have
suggestion.
called it a shadow
I
dragon?
took that bullet for you.
Yes.
Don't worry.
Would it have given me a name?
No.
I would ask it for a name.
Undying.
Undying?
Mm-hmm.
Other nicknames, monikers, you know.
Big Papa.
Comma B.
Esquire.
Dr. Undying.
Dr. Undying, Esquire.
I
It would tell you its genuine name.
It would.
Mm-hmm. It would know.
Okay.
Yeah. Sincerely. I don't know whether or not you would tell other people. That's why I don't want to say it aloud.
I would just whisper it. Laugh.
Mm-hmm.
And then Iris told us what it was called, right? Where she's from.
Yes.
False Gate.
Mm-hmm.
I'd flip it. And just kind of,
Mm-hmm.
what?
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 Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, y'all are hanging out now.
I think we should probably relay this information to Iris.
Yes.
I'd
I feel
also
like I-
worry about passing through this area with the children,
Yes.
specifically Bran and Nesgrim.
The section of the cave
And,
needs-
Children! Bran and Nesgrim!
This is a sicko.
I am a grown man. I do not need to be watched
You
over
put
like
Grim
a
in your
child.
name, man.
Act like it.
A Freudian slip, really.
Bran and Grimdar.
Yes.
Nobody cares about me.
Nesgrim Dark.
Needs
That's
fine.
Grimdar.
This
She's got the
area-
bear.
This area is large, and we do have a wall to post up against for
Yes.
a camp.
There is a concerning opening when I was patrolling
Uh-huh.
the southern wall
Mm-hmm.
here.
Okay.
Concerning in what way?
There's a cavern. I'll point in the direction of
Southeast of where
Yeah.
you guys are.
There's a large crystalline structure in that room.
Are there eyes in it?
No.
I fly over to it immediately.
Are we gonna bounce from one?
Yep.
I'm going to
That seems to be this party's mantra.
I just barely got us out with the reflection.
Yep.
I'm going to the crystal.
Do what you gotta do, dog.
I
am
will.
not one to
I
judge.
will.
I
I
am
see
not
Felix
one.
flying, and I just, breathily exhausted, I won't save you a second time, Felix.
I just look back and go
Shrug.
and flip you off. Like, genuine. After seeing that horrible visage,
Yep.
I just.
I hope the
I'm
darkness
running
gets
after
you.
Felix.
I'm going to go that way.
Yes,
we should all probably go
follow
that way.
him together.
Yes.
Here we go.
I'm gonna put my
might
hand
need a
on
couple
Theriel's
minutes.
shoulder. There's no sense in
Can have a
arguing
couple
with
minutes.
him.
We'll
He is a
help
On the
child.
way.
Yes, we will help you.
Come on.
Somebody grab his hand, please,
Yeah,
God.
I'm grabbing his hand and dragging him.
Buddy system. Buddy system. Your buddy's
Do
on.
I hear you say buddy system?
Yeah.
After I flip you off, I go, in your mind, you're my buddy. Because you're the only other flyer.
I like how I just said that there's no
Fuck
sense.
you.
I said, come here. He flipped her off. I said, don't bother arguing with him. He's a child. And he goes, you're my buddy.
I call dibs.
Dibs, you can fly.
Buddy! Oh, the hot and cold that is Felix Gray. It's hysterical.
I mean, if after
Yes.
the 3 minutes that I just had,
Yep.
You said I still have a
we're
little
like
bit
to have it
of salt
exploded.
left. As I fly ahead of Felix, I would sprinkle a little bit of salt back just to get in his eyes.
Having done that to Vorst multiple times with the spices, I definitely
Ooh, yeah, dude.
don't make me
You're
roll.
gonna
I'm gonna have you do a deck save with advantage because you've done it before.
Because I've done it to Vorst.
Pass it, it's easier to dance.
Yeah, you would know
Please
what's
not once.
coming.
Okay, so it's a dex saving throw. Let's check. So that's 13.
Yeah, I'll tell you that like it.
I would have
With
ring of
spine.
evasion. It would have been done.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, the ring like activates the salt.
No, don't use it. Wait, you said I passed.
Yes, no, you absolutely pass. Cool. You said you would be describing it as you guys are walking. Would you like to read the description?
Sure.
Oh God.
It's a good place. I'm glad you're floating over here.
I was trying to warn them about it, but
Warn us.
yeah.
We're fine.
I
There's a
mean,
big
you didn't let
tooth in
me
the wall over there. I gotta go. Look at it and touch it and stuff.
didn't let me finish talking about it, but so I'll just read exactly what John sent me.
Okay.
So the southern wall angles sharply into a further passage, a short tunnel corridor that extends 10 feet before opening into an upside-down P shape away from the direction that we came. The alcove within stretches more than 60 feet in width and extends back beyond the reach of my dark vision without further entrance. I don't know how that works for Felix, who has some extended
more.
vision.
Extendo vision.
The ceilings reach swiftly upwards from the tunnel entrance to a height beyond my dark vision as well. 30 feet into the alcove, there is a 15-foot wide pillar constructed of a foggy white natural crystalline that is semi-transparent. It extends into the ground and further below. The clay at the base of it has web-like cracks that reach several feet that seem to have settled and refilled, but the indentations in the earth remain visible. The structure extends higher than the reaches of my dark vision, but there is a noticeable curvature. Though slight, the size of it makes it more apparent. It would visually resemble the curvature of a tusk of a boar or similar creature. Behind the pillar at the edge of my dark vision, I can barely make out the sheen of a flat gem-like surface that stands in comparable height to the pillar. Because of the gradient grayscale of dark vision, I cannot determine the color for the gemstone surface, but it does appear to have a darker... It does appear to be darker than the grayscale I can see it in.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have been gifted a picture of what the structure looks like.
And I'm sorry, how big did you say it was again?
30 feet. It
Height-
extends
height?
up.
30 feet in, it goes beyond the height of your
Yeah.
dark vision. So she'd be able to see like roughly 50-ish feet upwards, and it would still be going.
You said the base cracks were web-like. There's no
in the
actual-
clay,
In the clay.
not the
yeah.
base of the crystalline structure.
Right,
the
just
clay
as if
around
it-
it. Like
as
it
if
it-
fell
As if it's
in
been-
and broke the
yeah.
ground.
Yeah.
Like a gum?
Like a gum?
Yeah, like a tooth coming out of a gum.
Is that what your
Sure,
gums look like?
comparable.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm just gonna...
You're right, I
you
don't
should
like
go to
it.
the dentist.
I'm fine.
Ether
Yeah.
has scurvy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna look for any signs of, like, creatures that may be near this thing, if there's any at all.
Absolutely. You can make a perception check as you stand inside of the opening of the alcove in the 10-foot tunnel. You have the 300-foot dark vision, so like...
But I have disadvantage.
Absolutely, you do.
Okay.
Good.
So, do the crystalline things extend out of that cave, or are they all strictly in there? Like, are there smaller ones that kind of like dwindle out?
It looks like when you are, so again, upside down P. I'm awful at drawing. But if you guys are coming in here, the fang thing would be here, and then you would see what would look like a tall, singular standing structure of varied surfaces, like cut gems, would look like it is standing behind it. You, as you step in a little bit...
Perception?
Yeah.
10.
10. You wouldn't see any definitive creatures. It's a dark area, so inside of the dark vision, you would be able to discern now, though, that this looks like it's a very grand statue made of like a cut obsidian, what would look in comparable surfacing to like cubism. So it would look like it has really harsh, flat lines. That's why it's like it's weird to describe from a distance where you'd be able to like see kind of a sheen
Like a
for like a
little bit
line
of
and
it.
then like it would descend
Yeah.
away and like another line like
But I'm not going in this room by myself.
absolutely.
So.
I mean, everybody's kind of around here. I'll tell you that as you're towards the front into this alcove, you would see at least some sense of the definition of the obsidian statue. It would be a 30-foot tall figure on a pedestal of what would look like a limestone, like 20-foot wide base, 30-foot tall statue above that. You would see that it would look like a figure in robes holding aloft something above it. It would look like a staff.
It's the Statue of Liberty.
You would be able to, yeah, exactly. You would be able to see that the staff itself extends obviously a deep distance down behind his side, or at his side, and extending above it, you would see that it would twist into like a gnarled branch opening, almost more like a druid staff, or some of the ones that like Gandalf had.
Right. The figure itself, can we see any features on the face? Or
Facial
anything?
features, again, because it's cubism, it would feel like almost distorted and kind of janky, like difficult to make
Oh,
out.
weird. Okay.
It has eyes.
Yes,
It
like,
has a face.
Absolutely. Like again, that's why it's like it's awkward.
Does it have regular ears or anything? Like,
It's got 3 ears, believe it or not.
I will tell you that based on where you are and the quality of your dark vision, you would see that it would look like it has. Again, it's got like robes, but you would
Okay.
definitely see a little bit more of like a pointed pulling back for what you would probably associate with elven ancestry.
Gotcha.
For the ears that extend backwards.
Visually, what I would think of, and you could tell me if I'm right or wrong, is when you have the futuristic retro like blocky statues in like games and things, like for the like vaporwave stuff where it's like very
Yeah, to a degree, absolutely.
Yeah,
Okay.
where it's like it's so far outside of your vision distance that it's like things are obscured and blurred, and all
Yeah.
you see are just features of things.
I would start at the base of the crystal and follow it up because I can see the full 300 to see how high it goes and if there's like holes in the ceiling or anything. Because you said
90
you couldn't
feet.
see the ceiling.
90 feet, ceilings are about 150 to 170-ish approximately. Obviously there's like grooves, so it's not congruous along the
Okay.
height. But yeah, 90 feet for the Fang.
Okay. Is there any holes in the ceiling from like, because you said it looked like these like fell
There would look
in.
like there is an impression that would look almost like, again, a banana shape where it would
Yeah.
look like it curls, where it's like more indented at a point, or
Oh,
it would look like a
sure.
septum piercing almost
Sure.
effectively in the fucking ceiling.
Okay.
Where it would be like point and like a wider point. So like if it fell like this.
Yeah.
Heavier base would have.
Got it. And what about the other thing, the statue?
The statue?
Yeah. Is there anything
Statue
above that?
doesn't look like there's anything above the ceiling. It looks like the
Okay.
statue was constructed
Sure.
here.
I wasn't sure if the crystal fell and then they constructed it out of. Okay.
You know, that's a good comparison. Like a poly statue. It would look like Porygon.
Yeah.
That.
That's what I was. That's what I
Yep,
was
that's,
visualizing.
yes.
Yep.
Does the crystalline, like, stalagmites, tights, gems, whatever, do they look more matte or do they look more shiny?
Ooh, the fang itself would look very matte. The obsidian that is the composition for the statue would have a good sheen to it because it's obsidian, so it would look almost like, mirrory.
Would I know what salt before it becomes ground down to salt looks like saltstone?
I would tell you that it would look pretty comparable to what this is for the fang. Absolutely.
What if you like stay back?
Anyone else want to look at anything? And also, like, again, this is a large cavern. It's like 150 feet deep. Like, again, big P, upside down. Like, are we just, like, chilling here, or are we, like, walking in? Again,
If there's-
Fang is in the center. Statue is more towards the back on a pedestal. There doesn't look like there's really anything else in this caverny area.
If there's a group in, I would like to come in and further explore.
I want to take a look at that statue pedestal, see if there's any inscriptions on it.
There
If we can get
absolutely
close enough.
is.
That's what I was gonna go look
Yeah.
at.
Nesgrim's gonna stand at the door.
Yeah, we get snatched up.
I'm gonna have Nesgrim. Come on. We should stick together.
Okay.
I think someone should actually keep an eye on this room. There's other entrances. I wouldn't want something to sneak past us.
I'll stay with Nesgrim.
Okay.
Snow.
You don't need to tell me when you're standing ready.
Make sure.
Wait, were you asking him?
Yes, John.
What?
Were
Is
you
there a way to
asking him?
test if something is salt
Snow.
other than licking it?
Just go for it.
Fuck it, I'm gonna go for
Snow.
it. I would like to lick the fang.
What?
You see the ages.
So where are you? I was out of the room for a second.
Yeah,
where
no,
are
you're
you?
okay.
What?
We all came
So
into
again, shape of the room, Fang would be in like the center. This is like
The
120 foot.
The
Yes.
white rock.
Yes.
And then behind it is
Behind it is the pedestal and the statue
Okay.
standing vertical on the pedestal.
Gotcha.
She is approaching the
lick it.
Fang and, you know.
Fail off.
You said the fang is standing pointy end
I
up,
just want
right?
to taste.
I just want. I go,
Yeah,
what the
yeah,
fuck?
it would be curved
Like I'm pretty
towards-
close.
it's
You're like,
like
what the? Why?
Just making
That's
sure.
your buddy
He and
right
I are
there.
headed to the statue.
That's my buddy.
You guys go to the statue.
Buddy.
You're staying at the opening.
Buddy.
Ritora also would be going in.
Buddy.
Felix, where would you be going? She's going to like the statue, or not
The
statue,
stone, the
Fang.
stone, right?
Fang.
Well, I
statue.
would have looked at the
my
stone, and then I'm
job,
assuming just look back down to her, going like, and you're like,
Yep.
just
Absolutely.
as you do it, why in your mind?
Okay. Yeah, I will tell you that it doesn't taste exactly like salt. It would have more. Again, it's going to be like not grainy. It would feel almost like ridges, where like again when you soak your hand in water and you get the like wrinkly flesh on your finger beds. It would feel not as wrinkly.
It's a wrinkle statue.
That's what I mean. I was like,
Wait, are you licking the statue or the tooth?
Like,
Is it the obsidian?
no, this is the
The
fang.
white.
She's
This is the
licking the
fang.
fangs.
Don't look at
Lick the teeth.
But again, it would feel ridged like that in the same way for if you, I don't know, dude, like fucking, like in the flame pattern of like a fucking pearl, where it would have like ridges, or against this, like the fucking,
Licking the inside of a seashell.
sure, absolutely.
Yeah.
Again, it's going to have like ridges and like a curvature to it where it would look like
Alright.
it's going vertical up it. It
Sure.
wouldn't be like horizontal stripes. It would be
Sure.
vertical
Never
ascending.
Like a
Like
Kingswood
oysters
antler?
Kinda.
Okay.
I said it looks like a fang.
you did say it.
Yeah, no, it would not taste like salt. As you lick it, it would taste almost like, I don't know, kind of bland with a strange, almost like sickly sap-like texture.
Oh no.
Where, like, again, your tongue doesn't stick to
I'm just
it.
hoping it's not venom. Was a fang. I can't put my arms down.
Again,
Yeah,
it's
just a
not
Christmas
like
story.
it's not like it's so sticky that like it's an abundance of anything. It would taste like resin had like natural resin, not the artificial resin like Sarah does with dice.
Sure.
But like natural resin from like tree bark, where it would almost feel like again. You've been around people and around the trees sufficiently. This would look like if you were to strip the bark off the outside of a tree and that delicious fleshy interior of the tree.
Oh, flesh tree.
God.
Got it.
What does it feel like?
What does it
That's-
feel like?
It looks crystalline, but what does it feel like? Like I know you said it's ridgy, but like in terms
Yeah.
of like
In terms of what? Sorry.
durability.
Durability. I would tell you that it feels like it has a little bit of a supple give to it. Again, going back to
Supple
the
flesh,
sensation
sure.
of like the wrinkly skin if you were to soak your hand in water.
Sure.
But like, if you were to press your tongue against it, you would definitively have like resistance. Like you're not just gonna be able to like break your tongue through this thing.
Right.
Like this is a weird experiment we're doing here, man. This wasn't what I
just wanted
prepped
to know
for.
if it's salt.
Do I know what it is?
That's what you know you're licking a tree and you're still licking it.
Can I make like a check? Like,
Huh?
I didn't know it was a tree.
This
till about
salt
a
tastes
second
like
ago.
tree.
what that check? Can I make a what that check?
Sure, you can make a general
On
intelligence
me or
check.
the crystal?
What is it?
A general intelligence check.
This salt
While
tastes
this
an
is
awful
going on,
lot
can I
like
cast
tree.
Oh, a
ritual
natural
casting,
one!
Detect magic.
Absolutely, you can. A
That
natural
crystal.
one.
Plus 4.
4, so a
That's a
5
crystal.
total.
Yeah. The other was a 16, so it would have been a dirty 20.
Yeah, I mean, you'd be able to discern that, like, despite its initial visual comparison to, like, a crystalline stone or rock, that like as you're seeing her do this and as you're close to it, it would look almost curiously like. Again, forgive me for trying to do this in the best way I can, but in the way where we've got
You're giving me a lot for that one.
I know. In the way that we've got this, like, when Sarah showed the picture and it's foggy, the foggy parts that look slightly darker as you're seeing into this would look like it is stone-like, where it's got more of a shimmer. The semi-transparent, like, lighter stuff that looks like the outside would look like this fleshy surface of an interior of a tree.
Did you just fucking trees or rocks me? Did you actually
Shoot
baby?
I was really hoping that on
Wait a
that
second,
one,
that means tense our house isn't ground isn't ground.
I know.
He hit you with the soda wood.
We gotta retroactive your cast. It came from the wall.
Wall is ground.
He hit you with the soda woodo.
He just trees.
God,
Never
damn it,
mind.
DJ.
we got Porygon,
That's actually really
we got
good.
Sudowoodo.
Yeah, we're playing Pokemon, right?
Okay, so there's
Same
darker
dynamic.
patches in this oddly.
Yes.
It doesn't look cloudy, right?
Cloudy.
Cloudy.
So, like,
Specifically
again,
cloudy.
the cloudy
Is it
parts would-
moving?
No.
Clouded.
I
Like
was
DJ's
really
dice.
hoping
It looks like DJ's
No,
dice.
that on a
It's
nat
not,
one, you would tell him that he thought that
Like,
her licking it was a good idea because maybe it's salt. Is that salt?
That would have been hilarious.
I mean, listen. What better way to tell that it's a tree and not a rock?
Who is that?
know.
There's
a lot of
ways.
Wicked.
It was.
Who's to tell me this isn't wooden? There's only one way to find out.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I don't know. I guess I'll just shrug and
Lick it?
no.
Would I see her licking this as we're on her?
I mean,
'cause we have
you'd
to
be
walk-
walking by, and she just, like, walks up to it, pulls her veil.
Yeah. Thoriel?
Yes.
As it goes clink, clink, clink.
Are any of us okay?
Is it salt?
Believe it or not, no, it is not salt. I think
I'm gonna
it's
walk
a
over
tree.
this thing. I'm definitely gonna walk over to this thing now.
I think it's a tree. Would you like a taste?
Would you like to taste my tree?
James, I called James.
I would
Maybe don't hit it. Don't hit it.
I would like inspect the dirt around the base of this to try to look for like things grow around the base of trees. If this is a tree,
Why are we interacting with this?
You know, I would look for
I'm
things
trying to just cast,
growing
like, a
at the
nice-
base of this. Is there widow's
A
well at
nice
the base of
detect
it?
magic here.
I mean, I will tell you again. So it, like,
What?
You detect magic.
Yeah, I
know,
have detect
if-
magic.
My God, cast it.
if this is the
Cut
base
him
of
off.
it, I
Yeah,
can...
it's cracked.
Yeah,
Ritual
so, like,
cast.
again,
ritual
spider webbing, cracking out.
How big is this
Salt.
thing?
I was looking
For the
salt.
diameter,
I thought
15
that would be a
feet.
good thing to
But,
look
like,
for.
in-
It
like,
looks like
it's-
salt.
He's not going to give it to you that easily.
15 feet in diameter, 90
It's like
feet in
it's
height, but again,
it's salt.
it's
Help
yeah,
me
it's
continue. Maybe
bending.
there's salt
I'm
here.
gonna be so upset if this
I
is
didn't know how else to check to see if it was salt.
what white bone looks like underground. God damn you.
Is that a spider?
Spider.
So again, these would look like they
That's
were depressions that have sunk in, that have been slightly refilled.
Sure.
But like you would see at the
got something
base
like
for the
sunspot,
connecting
check.
point for the bottom of this thing,
Yeah.
you would still see that like there's more of an indentation. You'd be able to like slightly see down.
Sure,
So
I
far,
would.
the
I would
only
peek.
number I
Yeah.
haven't rolled is
It's not like a great group. Like you're looking through the size of like that.
Yeah.
You can make a perception check. It's gonna be very difficult. If you
That's
want to
fine.
try to like move anything to like give yourself a better
Yeah,
vision.
I would move some of the dirt out of the way. I'm gonna do something else after, but I'm gonna do this first. Yeah. I'm gonna move some of the dirt out of the way.
Absolutely.
And look.
Yes. Again, you're not going to need to roll since you're
planeswalker
physically
size.
manipulating the
Yeah,
go.
yeah,
Yes, I will tell you that as you start to parse aside some of the dirt here, you would see that this thing extends further downwards, stays at the same diameter. It would go beyond the little part of what you're digging. I will tell you that as you break up the clay, though, you would feel, you're a person that's been out in the wild and you pick herbs. As your fingers run through the clay, you would definitively feel the thicker portions of what would feel like roots
Yeah.
if you're breaking through
Yeah.
something.
Like a lot of roots.
They would be thick.
Thick
So,
roots.
like, again, you know, more the thickness of this
Sure.
Lacks
at
critical
the
information.
presence
Yeah.
for where you're digging.
Sure. Yeah, I would try to look as I'm doing. I would stop and try to look at the roots.
Yeah, I will tell you that they look after you pull your hands away. To be blunt, dude, like nobody has like fucking light for you to be able to like
Yeah,
easily
sure.
see here.
Sure.
If you want to use light, I can give you color and things like that. But if you're just
Why would
looking
we
at dark
use
vision-
light? We just planeswalk
Dude,
with light.
I know.
no,
That's why
No,
like
Ether's not going to do that. Ether is going to back up.
Well,
Yes.
to be fair,
and
I
I'm
don't
gonna
think
pull the eye.
I don't think any of you would have known I
wanna
cast
see
a
what
light
this
as
looks
I
like
walked
with
in.
What have you done?
We knew
Wait,
that
what
the
do you
area.
Yes!
Do you need us to
Yes!
leave, Sean?
Look at it!
Wait, what did I miss?
In the
He's
party
looking at it with
rules.
the eye.
Do you need us to leave? In the eye? All right.
Woo!
When she's done, I'll leave.
Magic.
No.
It's fine.
What are you, I'm sitting here chanting
No.
to myself.
Yeah, and in the process, she's licked it, and he pulled out the eye.
Hey guys, don't do anything
Nesgrim's
weird while I
behaving
cast
himself,
this and
really.
find out what it
Yeah,
is.
he's being a good boy, standing at the opening, going snow, snow.
Hey,
snow.
hey, to be
Hey,
fair,
Rob.
I've only looked at
Yeah,
things. I
Lil
haven't
was
licked
over
or
here
touched
giving
anything.
Nesgrim a lecture
Oh,
about
I don't
sticking
know,
with the
he's
party and not doing anything
Ariel's over
dumb. You
here
should
just
really
licking
be
a
more like
tree.
Ether. He never does anything.
He's telling us.
Ether's over here digging a hole, she's licking the tree, and then he goes, let me look in the
He
eye.
did lose his legs.
So yeah, you'd like us to leave? All right.
Goodbye, everybody.
Oh,
That's Donnie boy.
Everybody but Donnie Boy?
It's been fun.
Buddy!
Woo!
What are you doing?
Looking at it.
Look at the tree.
He's peeping. He's a peeper.
Taking an extended peek.
peepers in
Is
the
that
sky.
a share?
I think it was a bad idea. Just because I'm pulling you in alone
No,
doesn't mean
I
like
don't
I'm
think it's bad.
killing you.
No.
I haven't left yet.
You look so upset. You look so upset.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, again, I'll leave on the morning playlist because it feels better. I told DJ at the beginning, genuinely, I left on morning not because, like, I thought he was dying, but because, like, the suspenseful one gets, like,
It gets
really
high,
wavery and
yeah,
awkward,
yeah.
and, like, I didn't want to distract him.
Yep.
So, like, again, same reason for why I'm doing this. So you pull up the Celestial Eye.
Yep.
And you're looking at the Fang. I will tell you that you are absolutely correct in the idea of, like, this looks like it's heartwood.
Yeah.
Which, again, is the, like, flesher interior and then the heart of the actual tree itself. I will tell you that as you look at this thing through the Celestial Eye, you notice, again, it would be difficult for me to describe this to you for where you and I would see, but, like, because it's so massive, I'm not, like, a fucking artist, but if it's this, again, it would actually be, like, more circular at the bottom. You would see, as you're standing, like, here, you would see, kind of like that, rings.
Okay.
So you would see...
I was going to
almost-
assume it was veins. But
That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, sure.
It would look like rings, where it would look like it is the age of the tree, but you would see
But
that it's spiraling upwards, thinning out as it does so, to where it looks almost like it curves, and it's the thinnest as it touches the point of the fang.
Okay.
You, with the Celestial Eye, would be, I would say you'd be able to see effectively beyond the point of your dark vision. You would be able to see up at the ceiling for the indentation for where this thing looked like it fell through at the point of the fang. You would see almost like it's dripping down onto the top of the fang a putrid, like, pustulant green substance, like it's seeping through down onto the tip. Again, I angled this a little too much.
Yeah, sure.
It's more pointed upwards
Sure.
at the ceiling. But it would look like the ground is leaking onto the tip of this thing. It doesn't look like it's damaging this at all. So in retrospect, it would look almost like this drips down, and this is the start, and it's running down.
Down and through and into the ground.
Into the ground.
Okay.
Now, as you're looking at it, the way I was trying to give the impression of for her, it's not that rocks and trees are the same thing.
Yeah.
It's that this thing is a combination of a tree, genuinely, a trunk, but it looks like there are calcite formations, so that's why it doesn't taste like salt.
Sure.
It would taste dirty, like
Sure.
it tastes gritty because it's calcium, like you're like tasting like powdered
Yeah,
calcium.
sure.
So So like it's not really going to have like a good flavor to it. But you would be able to see that it almost looks like parts of the tree were broken and replaced, almost like I was trying to say to Paul, like marbling. So when we're looking at, in the same way in Fall, the marbling that look like wisps that run through it, it looks like there are veins of what would look like rocky formations of calcite. Ether is like not a super scientist, but like I would tell you that calcite is comparable for what is left back from living organisms after they've died. Typically marine life.
Okay.
Obviously would be super fucking out of place here.
Yeah.
Like you haven't
nowhere near water.
You haven't encountered water
Sure.
here so far. You don't
Unless
know
it was a
definitively there's
lake.
not.
Yeah, not an ocean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be what you would see.
Okay.
I would ask if you want to look at the statue-y thing
Yes.
with the Celestial Eye, just so this way I can do it with both.
Would've.
Okay. Now, the thing with Obsidian, and you would be able to determine this instantaneously, this is the first thing you've looked at where the Celestial Eye effectively doesn't work. Obsidian is used to prevent scrying.
Sure.
So in the same way, to me, I would perceive true sight, which is what the Celestial Eye effectively gives, would only see the surface of the obsidian and wouldn't be able to see beyond. I would say that obsidian is like the only really thing, in my perspective, that would be able to counter true sight.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Part of why the walls are built of it.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you that you would see the same cubic surfaces of it. The pedestal itself is limestone, so like it's got, the grayish, slightly tan complexion to it. It's porous on the outside. I'll tell you that you see that there is writing on the pedestal.
Okay.
There's no magical engravings or anything like that. It looks like the phrase is written in common from a distance. You'd be roughly like 40 feet away, so it'd be hard to read, but you wouldn't see anything that would look different. That looks like it is what it is, but you can't see within the obsidian.
Sure. Before moving to the statue, I also would have asked Thariel to link arms with me on the off chance that this is like a fucking egg and I go sprinting at it.
Sure.
So.
Okay. Then I'm gonna pull everybody back.
Oh. Yeah, because I don't want to go.
Yeah.
No.
Absolutely. Oh. Welcome back.
Yay!
Right.
It's a good thing. It's only good things.
Dude, so far everybody's alive.
Good.
So far.
No.
It's not a party unless someone goes down.
Come again?
Yeah, so I mean, you guys would see Ether just pulls the Celestial Eye up in front of his face and looks at the thing in front of him for a couple of seconds.
Elongated peek, you would
He
say?
takes an elongated peek, and then go right ahead, buddy.
Thariel, could you link arms with me for a moment? I'm going to look at the statue and would like to be prevented from sprinting at it if there is something inside.
I'm pretty weak. Are you sure that's a good call?
I slowly float away.
Vorst is right there.
Fucking God. All right. Come on.
Yeah, and I will
Party. Never known us to be so just willfully reckless in the face of an enormous obsidian statue and a terrifying fag.
To be fair, I don't know any better.
Be gentle on me, John. I'm not in the room.
There are a few
I've
of us
done
that are
nothing to earn this.
Yep, I fly about 10 feet away.
Yeah. Cool. I'll tell you that you two link arms. You take a few steps towards the limestone pedestal with the large obsidian statue on top of it. As you guys are approaching it, the phrase in common, again, is indicated on the pedestal, is clearly visible.
Wait, what? There's a phrase?
Yeah.
Don't read it.
No, you're gone.
Well,
No, I can. If I can definitely see it. I have
you'd be able to
Is
see
this-
that there's like etchings.
Who
of the
read the
pedestal.
last one? Who
Is
read
this
it?
is this the statue?
Yeah, I don't read it.
I know.
Is this the statue or the thing?
Yeah, they're not gonna read it. I never read it.
Don't
You're
read
done.
it.
It's
Yeah,
this
but
the statue.
I
of
Look
the
at the last one with the eye.
I actually just repeat in his mind. Don't read it. Don't read it. Don't read it. Don't read it.
Yeah, so I mean, you see a phrase in common at the pedestal.
Is
I
this
would
on the statue or the thing?
the pedestal?
The pedestal of the statue. Got
Yes.
it. Okay.
Yeah, so carved into the limestone surface. Yeah, I'll tell you that you look through the celestial eye at the obsidian statue, and you're not capable of seeing anything through it. That it looks like just an obsidian cubist statue, like
Yep.
a polygon man.
Yep.
Yep. You're about 15 feet away from it. I mean, close enough to be able to probably see the words on the pedestal.
I would remove the eye.
Uh-huh.
I can still see the words.
Yeah.
Because we okay.
Yeah.
I will visually read them. I will not speak them.
Very good.
That's all it takes, buddy. Get him.
Take a look at that there pedestal, if it's within range.
Would you walk up with
Yeah,
them?
I'm with him. He's
Yeah,
buddy.
Yeah, they're linked.
He's my
aren't they-
buddy.
They're linked arms, right?
Yeah, buddy, you can't go. We're buddies.
No,
No,
I'm
they're
10
linked.
feet away in the air. Woo!
He linked her arm, and I'm walking with him.
Oh, okay.
Why did I volunteer for this?
I don't know. Good luck.
He asked, and you
Didn't
were
do
like,
enough for this
sure.
goddamn crew. God damn it.
You got voluntold.
I guess fucking so, man.
If you're in the area, I'm just going to put it in the general, or the cast only one, because there's like 3 people that would be able to see it.
Yep.
I don't think I'd be one of them.
Nope.
Don't look.
So don't look.
I won't.
Close your eyes.
Watch your peepers.
Open your heart.
Look with your special eyes. My brand.
My brand.
My brand.
God damn it, Glenn.
My brand.
I'm not fucking reading that out.
Whoa! It's not bad.
The last one wasn't either. Until you get to the end, and then it's bad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's what you see in common.
Okay.
What's an echelon?
I'm all.
Not familiar with that term.
No. I think like I would guess like a higher power, an ascension.
I just look at Ether. And then frantically look back at Nesgrim.
Mm-hmm.
And then back to Ether.
No, yes.
And frantically
I
back to
understand.
Nesgrim.
It is the,
I
the
don't
context
see any
is
words on the where he clearly approached.
On the pedestal?
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd be able to see it.
It's in the chat.
Yeah, I put it in the general cast, because
Oh.
again, there was like 4 people. I didn't want to take the time to message 4 different people.
Why does?
Uh-oh.
Why is everyone looking at me?
It would just be Thariel looking at you, and from a distance.
You technically can't even see me looking at you. I'm wearing a mask.
Mm-hmm.
I would see you facing in my direction.
You would see her,
nerd.
you going like this. And
Maybe I'm stretching my neck. Who's to say?
Why is everyone looking at me?
It's just me.
To wait until they come back. Stay calm.
I mean, you cast detect magic at this point, I would say. You know, we're kind of chilling in here for a little while. Yeah, go ahead, all the way.
Am I fine doing rituals in here? Because that's backfired before.
That's great.
I'm gonna go out to them.
Alright, 7. Burnout.
Good.
D10,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Yeah. You just let me know when I'm there.
You already did.
Okay, cool.
Absolutely. I will tell you that as you cast detect magic and kind of do like a little bit of a walk around, you know, the fang itself gives off a magical aura from a school from which you are not familiar.
Oh.
Yeah. We definitely feel that it's got a magical presence within it. Not on the surface, within it.
Oh, good.
And not of a school that you know. And the statue gives off School of Abjuration. The obsidian statue specifically.
You said that. Oh, sorry.
DJ, I like that you said neurotic shroud and not necrotic shroud. It's very fitting. And yes. Yes.
Can you remind me what abjuration?
School of Protection.
Protection.
That's what I was just looking up.
this clay is faintly a prison.
I'll relay that information
Yeah, to the people around
to the
you.
people around me.
Mm-hmm.
Would I be able to read the plaque as I do my
Yeah,
walkabout?
you may
Okay.
look.
I would like to look.
Mm-hmm.
And let me read this first because I have
Okay,
I have
while
one more
she reads
decision
it-
I'd like to make.
Can I fly over to him?
Yeah,
I'm
absolutely.
gonna fly behind him
Uh-huh.
and pull his armor back a little bit.
Yeah.
Do I see his regular old back?
You would see blood stain from the shoulder injury.
Just like footprints.
I don't
would see
see
it.
anything mantle-like.
No.
Good.
No.
Can I help? Can I help you?
Mantle?
I don't answer you when I fly away.
What does mantle look like?
I don't know. I have actually a
Does it look
detailed
like a-
sketch of his back from when his wings came out.
Correct.
Yes, you do.
So I would
So it's a thing
assume
about,
that
like-
I would know if there's anything different. You say there isn't.
Nope.
You have
Okay.
a good definitive knowledge of his back. For
He doesn't
sure.
look
Yep.
like the top of
I'm gonna give him a little slap and then fly away.
As you're flying away, what the fuck?
He's been behaving strangely ever since he went after you.
Do I hear you say that?
Probably.
Okay. In your mind, I say snow.
Very good.
It is established that this is a tree. Have we all decided that you said it was a tree, right?
I would have. Yeah.
You would have what?
Yeah.
He asked me if it was salt, and
I'll
I said
do it in
no.
game
it's a
because
tree.
I said it out of game and then looked
Oh.
at it. I'll say it in game also. That is a tree.
Thank you.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
I'll scare everybody. Wow.
You just read the thing. It was like, weird
There
words.
are
That's a tree.
strange veins, rings running down from the tip to the earth, and there is a strange green liquid like was on the fang in the vision that I looked at it with, hitting the tip of this.
For the thorn, Don.
For the thorn.
The thing specifically
The
called a thorn.
This
A plague bear
a
thorn.
plague bear thorn.
Felix! Hiya!
As he
Sword of the stone, baby.
running down.
There's on the tip of this. This is a giant thorn.
Yes. I am sure that we cannot see it. We could not see it without looking at it with the eye before.
Would it be safe to touch it?
No.
I make one bad decision,
I'm
and
going to
suddenly
assume
everybody.
that I can't hear him saying all that.
They're like roughly 60 feet away from you,
So, like,
50 feet
It's
away.
echoey in
parts.
here, right?
Like vaguely. Like
It's echoey enough to where
Sure,
you'd be
sure,
able to
sure.
like kind of piece it together, like 90% of it, I would say.
yeah, I guess, he says like the thorn.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna look at this thing
You're
again.
fine.
Yep.
You're a daywalker.
That's fine.
Like the thorn?
Yeah, pretty comparable to the thorn.
It's definitely a plant.
So there was grooves in it.
Yeah.
Has it looked like it's been altered in any other way?
No, I mean, I told you the way
Yeah.
in which the celestial eye perceives it as having an alteration. To you, it would look foggy.
Does it look like it was carved to make this shape?
No.
I'd like take out the dagger.
What dagger?
Wait, what dagger are you talking about?
Glenn had
Wait,
given
hold
me, or
Yeah, you
sorry,
had-
Boris
you
had
just
given
have
me a dagger.
Yeah, you have a basic dagger.
Just a
you're
normal
right.
ass dagger,
Just a
right?
regular dagger.
Oh my gosh, she's gonna make
You're
another
gonna
one!
lick it.
Where am I?
I'm gonna look at you,
Tell me where I
and then I'm
am right
gonna
now.
look at Nesgrim, and I'm gonna go kill him.
Do I see it? Do I see it about to happen?
The only thing I need to know here, John, is in relation to the thorn that we're referencing. Does it look like it's aimed to stab upward through the ceiling?
Upward through the ceiling.
Okay.
So there are roots underneath. Like this grew out of this ground. That's what you.
So, what you had seen on the ceiling that I had described as like a septum piercing would have given you the impression that this thing fell downwards. As it was falling, it would have naturally inclined to where the heavier, denser bottom would have become the new base. It would have struck the ground here in the center. And now, because it fell naturally, the curvature is back up towards the height because it's the thinner point, so it's less dense.
I can
But
see.
you would have definitively known that this would have at some point fallen through, landing here. And yes, you did find roots now at the base of it.
I can attempt to speak to it. I don't know if it helps.
I mean,
I just watched John have a moment.
I feel like now you have to.
I sure don't.
bro, we do what we want to hear, I guess.
Unfortunately,
Here's
everybody
the
in
thing.
chat is going to have to start paying premium now.
Yeah, whoa.
We're here to protect kids.
I
gotta lick this.
To be fair, I wanted to make sure it wasn't salt.
Yes.
only wonder if it could help lead us out of here. But if it seems like it's not from this area, then I don't think it would know.
Would you inform her of what I informed you of?
Yes, that's the next thing. You cannot see it here, but through the eye there are areas that have been filled in with some sort of what looks like calcium deposits, calcite, which is primarily left over from decaying marine life.
Salt?
So this, I would assume, fell through some sort of lake.
We need to go.
Yes.
We need to go right now. Right now.
What if
Right now.
I cut off a little piece of it?
No, we need
No.
to leave.
Just bring
No,
it with us.
No.
If we're
Absolutely
under.
not.
John,
Yeah.
being
Do
from
you
where
hear
I'm
this?
from,
Yeah,
Even
I am flying back, and then I see you go like this with the knife, and I just shake my head no.
It could be useful later.
in the gross
We've got-
place
listen,
where
we
I'm
have
from,
one.
with this cave and a swamp with a cave, would I have any knowledge of anything similar to this plague thorn?
I mean, the weapons that were used. The thing I will tell you that you guys would have seen that would give you some kind of inclination, to a degree, for comparative efforts, are, when described, the areas outside of the Shathrogoth, the webbed mouth, the area where the rotting one supposedly exists. There was an herb outside called corpse wort that grew outside of great corpses.
Thank you.
That would look like almost celery stalk-like, so you would get kind of comparable qualities in terms of like celery has ridges on the outside and it's kind of like a whitish color,
It's mostly water.
mostly water.
White green stem
So,
with
like-
small sprigs at the height, akin to celery.
Yeah. You wouldn't know that herb,
That's
not from
fine.
where you live.
It just gives the same feeling to
Kind
the way
of,
that it's
yeah, comparable
just on a
feeling.
massive scale.
Yeah.
I have an empty bag that I once had salt in,
No.
and I'm
No.
wearing gloves.
No.
I don't think we should touch
No,
this.
no, no,
Do not
no.
touch this.
I think all of us have made enough bad decisions for the day.
You can decide the amount
So
of
he
medicines
said
we
it
get to
looks
make.
like it came from a lake, right? Correct? You
He
said those
It
words.
would have looked like it was leftover marine life for the calcium deposits.
Yes. And there is no ocean nearby.
There is an ocean
Currently.
Currently.
under this land.
That doesn't
We
make
saw
sense.
it. That's
You seem skeptical.
I just really like a piece of this.
No, we have one in his bag. We already have one.
No, I think
Thumbs up.
this might be something a little different. She says this is a plant. If this is a plant, it looks similar to something I've seen before, or only heard about.
Also, Ritora, would you give the impression that you know that this is a school of magic that you're not familiar
yeah.
with?
I described
Okay.
that and
Yeah.
and the statue.
And that was not present on the thorn.
This is something that has been spoken of, I've said before, about the awful mouth entrance to the cave where the rotting one lives, with the bloodberries growing outside. There was also these, they looked like celery stalks, white and green. This is very similar, but just large.
So there is a very large thing buried here.
Quite possibly. And if it is, in fact, stained with some evidence of being in some kind of water, these typically grow by pools in places of great death.
Mm-hmm.
How big? Dude, there's no impression from the top, similar to like with the castle walls, that we can clearly see something falling through.
In the ceiling, yes, there
How-
is.
Is it about the size of
Yes.
this?
It would look like if it was on its x-axis and
Okay.
fell naturally this
Sideways.
Mm-hmm. 90 feet. It's fucking huge.
Okay.
As somebody who's lived off the plants for a majority of my life, we don't know what this plant is. It could have strong components that we're not familiar with that could help us later.
There's something magical
Magical plants
within
approved.
this plant.
Helpful.
I don't recognize.
We've been
What
cursed
is-
by magical plants before.
I think you've been cursed by
You
magical
say from a
dirt.
distance.
We've been cursed!
I am very curious about what this is, and I would like to investigate it more. But at the present moment, I don't think it is a threat to us, and we have a job to complete.
What schools of magic do you know?
She would
The
know
normal
all of them.
ones.
All
As a
of them.
druid, yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
Yeah,
When do you plan on being back in here? Probably never.
I would like not to, but we have.
If this could save countless lives, why wouldn't we take our chances?
Because it could kill us too.
Well, I mean, all poison could be medicine.
I don't think that's correct.
Nesgrim,
Oh my
please
God.
stop yelling across the room.
I don't
And I'm gonna check behind me and Nesgrim and make sure nothing's coming to the sound of the
I mean,
echoing.
at this point, genuinely, like, the caravan of children and other people would have entered into this room. Not the one that you guys are in, but the previous room.
Yeah, fuck.
And be stopped and just kind of, like, looking around. They would hear your voices and, like, they'd be looking in the distance. And they would stay 100 feet away, 120-ish feet
Would
away.
they stay in the entrance to this room, or would they come in, like,
No,
They're not
they would
in
be
this room,
in
they're in
the
the
other
previous
room.
room.
are they approaching the wall?
No.
No. Okay.
No, they are staying, like, again, that room was like 180 feet in width.
Mhm.
The wall is like here. They'd be in the open air. Like, they don't intend to go near anything. Like,
Okay.
they know that.
I just know that there's two children and they're
Yeah,
adult.
no, and they're absolutely, like, rope tied up like fucking things. There's definitely, like, a Grimdar on a spit, and he's just spinning.
That's right.
Who's
Two
the other
adults
tied up
carrying him.
child?
Oh, dude, it's Brand for sure. You see him actively, like, trying to fucking
Just,
put
like,
his way
gnawing at
out.
the
Look at him!
All I'm saying is I've never seen a plant like this. I'm assuming none of you have ever seen a plant like this. There's things going on above that we do not have explanation for. Perhaps the thing to solve the thing that we do not understand is something else we don't understand.
The only thing we have to do right now is get these children safely through this passage.
And possibly miss out on an opportunity for a possible cure.
Oddly enough.
I'll just shrug at you. Like,
Anyone opposed?
I say go for it.
I am opposed.
I immediately raise my hand as I'm nay.
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 Is there a horse?
Fucking go for it.
I'm at the entrance to the room.
Yeah, those two aren't really here.
They're not
You got
listening to this
outvoted, dog.
conversation.
This is similar to something that
And I
we've
voted in
seen
that group.
only in dreams from people who are dying.
Yes. Do it.
The fact that it is here in front of us, if it is in fact the same thing, it puts it in league with the bloodberries.
But
I will
this
take
is
responsibility for it. I will carry it.
not if it kills all of us.
And what if it saves us?
What if it corrupts us?
Have we not already been corrupted?
We sure have.
I shake my head no.
I mean, do you have...
Stop yelling!
I'm not there. I'm not there.
I mean, I died. I mean, I'm still good.
Please stay here as long as you can.
There is poison dripping from the ceiling onto this that is descending down into the earth.
Where's the line between poison and medicine?
One
It
of
is
them
a very-
kills you.
I'll gesture like what he described right there.
Come on, guys. Maybe the plant's misunderstood. We should try talking to it.
I can save this plant.
We fear the things we do not know. We do not know about this, and your fear is rational. However, we could be saving people with this.
I respect your curiosity. I think we have
Just-
to go.
Say hello.
No, don't. I'm gonna slowly fly away, and I'm gonna point at my buddy and gesture.
I think it's time to go now. I'm
Very well.
sorry.
We should not do this.
Very well.
I am sorry.
There are plants that grow beneath these ground that are so dangerous.
I will respect your wishes. Just, it's worth it to keep an open mind. And I go back and I slice a piece anyway. No, I'm gonna take a bite out of the tree. I mean, I've already licked it, so I guess we'll see what happens.
She's still alive.
What if I become less of...
How dangerous could it be?
both
She
sides.
listens.
Woo! I'm just saying, from the stance of she's made arguments before and they were real bad. Absolutely not. You don't get to
wow,
make
I also
arguments.
made some pretty good arguments in the last bit. It was pretty good.
This is a better argument than the previous one.
The morally great plan. I think we should hear it out.
I mean, like, what if it's visited?
I think we should not do anything at all ever again.
That's a novel idea coming from you over there.
I think we need to move forward. I don't think there's any danger in this cavern.
Yeah, no, I'll tell you that as you guys are walking away, you would hear almost like a distant, echoing, faint whisper from...
Who would hear?
Everyone would.
All of us.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so not just her.
Yeah. Everyone would hear an echoing whisper of a very familiar voice
Don't
for
do it.
what would fill the sounds of this, almost building and rising like a wave, but concentrated from the center of this alcove, like from the roots. Mr. E.
Oh, God.
You said.
We're going to end early and end there.
No. Thank God he didn't cut into that. Oh, my God. Oh,
She
God.
didn't cut into it yet.
She dips back around.
You guys are still around.
No, my buddy. My buddy was with
As
me.
you go to leave.
Mhm. As you're leaving, it feels like it calls out to you, Mr. Ethan.
Goodbye.
I hope you guys have had fun.
Oh,
DJ's
no.
alive.
Yay!
Like, legitimately, you guys sincerely rescued him from the brink of a terrible, terrible experience. Like, you guys know what happens when the shadow dragon eats someone.
Yeah.
Yep.
It
Try for it.
makes one.
Yeah.
Oh!
Yes.
Let's be very clear. He said DJ is alive.
Okay. I'm very specific in the way I phrase
I am
things.
alive,
But-
indeed.
You are
Yes.
now.
That was what. That's why I was saying, be a dragon. It was effectively saying again, welcome me.
So the idea
How
of
do you get out?
crying
You let me
was
know.
not the correct.
It was the bad thing to
I
do.
knew my two options were a bad choice and death.
Your option was to, again, in the idea of like demonstrating light and other things like that. I know you don't have a silver blade. I would have let you, in the way that I've been describing the shadows like a curtain, I would have let you use a divine smite with radiant light against the curtain to cut yourself out.
Oh, okay. I wouldn't have gotten that.
I know.
Clearly.
That's what I was like. I really hope
What did I tell you last week? I was like, smite! It's only one spell! I literally screamed
think
at
he
you.
might be
I was
onto
like, your
something.
spell slots are for nothing else.
Smite, only smite.
Do you understand now?
I know it feels weird to end early. I don't often end early, but
No.
that feels like
Yeah,
a
no,
very
that's
interesting.
Our old friend.
Oh yeah, dripping here onto the floor.
If only I had talked to it.
Right?
If only.
They would have been so happy to see
I could have
you
brought him
again.
with us. I'm just saying. I
No,
offered.
we
don't want
We don't want him with us. He's a monster.
You know what? You know who carries all the cursed items? It's me. It's never anybody else.
Oh, so you're being greedy. You want to carry all the curse items of what this is.
Yup.
Friends, thank you very much for watching tonight. We appreciate you guys being here. Nesgrim's alive, thank God. Thank God.
Thank you.
But yeah, thank you very much. Dapper Gentlemancer, thank you very much for the follow earlier. And DJ with the resub. Birds aren't real and Nesgrim is going to live. Thank you. True. But
True
yeah,
and
we
real.
will be back on Friday for the Lost Kings of Adoris and then next Monday for the City of Oshuamp. We'll see you guys next time.
Bye.